Yeah, feature presentation. Fired up the pistons for the prince, I feel like Tayshaun. Business trips to Hollywood, I don't do no vacation. When the drop go platinum, I'ma hit the hesitation. Anyone who doubted, I go Lilla with the blazing. Switch up, then they radio, we on an imminent rise. Life written on a big screen, free cinema eyes. Why? Yeah, oh my, this be the cheat code. When I wrote this, I hit
Hey, it's Vasco here from Metro Hobbies with yet another new release. This one is from Kyosho. It is the 1967 Pontiac GTO. It's a gorgeous looking car, so let's have a closer look at it. Right, so as you open one of these, you're going to find the car fully assembled and ready to go. Of course, you're going to get a radio and you're going to get a bag with some goodies. Now, we've gone through some of this stuff before, so I'm going to be fairly brief here because, of course, we have unboxed the El Camino that you might see behind me over my shoulder there. And this one is very much the same car with, of course, just being a different body. So in this bag, you're going to find new rotors here. Now, these have got a bigger offset. The standard ones come with, I think, a 0 offset, which is great for 190mm bodies like this. But if in the future you decide to change out the body and use a 200mm body, you can do that with these hex adapters. So that'll kind of push out the width of the car so that you fit the wider bodies. You've got 3 little Allen keys in there, which are great to work on the car. You have this little a turnbuckle sort of wrench, which is great. I've actually got one of these myself in my toolbox. These are fantastic, which is interesting because they don't come with any turnbuckles, but good to have one of those in the toolbox anyway. You get a bind plug in case you do need to use it. The car should already be pre-bound to the radio, so you shouldn't have to do any binding, but in case you do need to, they've got the bind plug there for you. And then, of course, you get a little bag with some spares. There's some spare screws in here, some extra shock spacers so that you can adjust the suspension stiffness and obviously adjust the height of the car as well. Some extra hardware, a couple of servo horns. So a good little bag of spares to have with this particular car. And then the all-important user manual that I always encourage everybody to go through, especially if you're fairly new to the hobby, to go through this guy and have a bit of a browse through, just to see how everything operates, you know, what the buttons on the back of the remote do and all this sort of thing, how to charge your batteries, all of that sort of stuff is in here, how to bind, very useful information. Part number is in here as well, in case you do need to obviously order some parts for the vehicle. So now moving on to the radio. This is one of the nicer radios that exist out there with ready-to-run vehicles. It's really well equipped. It's got a very ergonomic sort of feel to it. The trigger feels nice and tight and snug around my index finger. Only runs on 4AA's, which is pretty standard. No big collapsible antennas or anything like that to break off. And of course, on the back, you got a whole bunch of dials, which if you're fairly new to the hobby, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming, but it's actually really simple and really packed with some very nice features. So the on and off switch is just down the back here, just to slide that on and off. You got your reverse switches down the bottom here in case you need to reverse the throttle or the steering, and then you've got some LED indicators in here as well, just to kind of give you some idea of whether it's connected to the car, binding mode, and obviously if the battery is running low in the radio as well. As we move up, we have our throttle EPAs. So you have a forward EPA and a reverse EPA. Essentially, EPA stands for endpoint adjustment, and this allows you to manage the top speed of the car. So if you want to hand this remote over to somebody that's a bit less experienced, perhaps somebody a lot younger, you can sort of tune down the top speed. So if they're just going to mash the throttle and turn the wheel, they're not going to be hitting any obstacles at a very high speed. So a really cool option to have that. Up the top here, you have throttle trim, which most people, you don't really need to touch that. Then you have your steering trim on this side, and you have a steering dual rate. So much like the throttle EPA, the steering dual rate kind of adjusts the limiting angle of steering that you'll get with the radio. So really nice, well-packed feature-packed radio that comes with these Kyosho cars. There is a little slider switch on here as well. Don't worry about that. It's really not connected to anything at this stage, but perhaps you could have that hooked up to, I don't know, some LEDs or something like that later on if you want to do that. That's it for the radio. Let's move on to the car.
Yeah, oh my, just be the cheat code. When I wrote this, I put why it's Tarantino. Didn't need a record celebrating for the vino. Saw the cover on the gram, we bought it, that's how we go.
And here we are for the Pontiac GTO. This is an iconic car. car. It is a big car as well for a 2-door coupe. This thing in real life is actually quite a huge car, and Kyosho have definitely gone out of their way to make this thing look absolutely stunning. It's got plastic wipers that you can manipulate and of course position them where you want to. You've got LED light buckets on the front and rear of the car as well. It is using the same wheels and tires that came on the El Camino, so they haven't really done anything new there, which is fine because they look fantastic on this particular vehicle as well. The wheels actually attach with a hex driver, so keep that in mind. It doesn't use a traditional sort of little nut bolt type setup, so a little bit different there. The front detail on this car is just something else. Well done, Kyosho, I say. This is absolutely gorgeous looking machine. I would almost say that a lot of people are probably not going to bash this too hard. They're probably going to look after it and have some other body that they'll trash on this particular chassis. But this is definitely a gorgeous looking body. You've got the matte black finish on top as well. All the chrome linings all the way around the window trims and everything. Door handles. The wheel arches have also got a little bit of chrome lining, and of course the bottom skirt of the car, which has that reflective sort of chrome on there as well. Just gorgeous details all the way around. The back end, very clean. They've actually got nice little number plate in there as well. So a gorgeous looking car, and you'll see that there will be a couple of seams on the body, both over the back of the bonnet here and just on the towards the front end near the windscreen. There's a bit of a seam in the body. This is not an imperfection. It's just the way that the body has been molded. They had to create a seam in order to make this work. So that's just the way that it is in order to get the amount of detail that is going on here. It has a little rear reflection mirror on the back here, or on the side rather, but it's only on one side because back then that's essentially all you needed. You just needed the one mirror. So very cool setup and a lot of attention to detail. So very quickly we'll take the body off here. And by the way, I absolutely love this color. It kind of looks, it depends on the light, but it kind of looks a little bit silverish, and then sometimes you look at it and it looks a bit beige. So it's a very unique looking color. It just depends on the light and the way it reflects and everything else. Now you can see here underneath you have all the little attachments for the wipers. There's the little attachment there for the rear vision mirror, and of course you've got your light buckets and everything just there on the front, and some light buckets in the rear as well. So Kyosho definitely outdone themselves in regards to that. Moving on to the car itself, very much the same as the El Camino car that we unboxed a little while ago. You have your battery strap just on this side, and of course a lot of this will also be very familiar to you if you have the Mad Van. Except the Mad Van's got an aluminium center drive shaft, and it's got a few other goodies internally that you can't really see. But this one, being just a brushed motor, they haven't gone with the aluminium center drive shaft. They've just got the plastic one. Adjustable body posts front and rear. So that means that if you do decide to get different bodies for this, you can adjust the bodies to fit the way that you want them to. So a really nice thing to have that included in a kit like this. You've got the aluminium caps on the shocks, and these of course are adjustable via the preload spacers. As I said, there are some additional preload spacers that come in the kit if you want to play around with the suspension that way. You got a block of foam here or that you can remove if you are going to be using some extra long batteries. So if you really want that extra long run time and you find yourself some really big batteries, you can remove that block to fit those batteries in there. And then of course that's pretty much it, the same as you have seen in the past with the other cars. So a very nice tidy little unit. I love that it's got brake calipers and everything on there, and it's got the rotors, and of course you can swap those out for the bigger offset. So really nice touch. I like the big front bumper here, the foam bumper, in case you have any impacts. It's going to obviously absorb some of that. Wine management looks fantastic. It's all tucked away underneath this little plastic cover. It's running a 14-turn brushed motor. It's a 550 size can with the built-in fan, so it should run just fine. It also comes with a T connector on there as well. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool features on this car. I really like these Fazer cars, especially with the bodies that Kyosho are bringing out at the moment. This one in particular definitely has my attention. If nothing else, this makes an awesome shelf piece. for those of you out there who like this particular style of car, because it's almost like the detail that's on here, it's almost like the type of thing you'd find in models, except this one you happen to be able to drive it.
Who doubted? I go Lilla with the blazing. Switch up, then they radio. We on an imminent rise. Life written on a big screen. Free cinema eyes. Why? Yeah, oh my mind. This be the cheat code. When I wrote this, I hit RBYY Tarantino. Written in director's.
And there we have it. That wraps up this close look at the new Pontiac GTO from Kyosho. An absolutely stunning car, feature-packed radio as well. And that comes with a few nice accessories for you to be able to customize the car a little bit later on if you want to. That is it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, check out the video description for more information on the Kyosho line of RC cars that we have here at Metro Hobbies, as well as links to all our social media pages. Thank you again, and I'll speak to you all next time.